Mama brought you some kale. Num num. Num num. Ooh, num. Come on, Echo. There you go. Oh, Pretty Bird. Pretty Bird. You're under the fence. Come here. Uh. Pretty Bird. Don't be so greedy. Let the babies have some. Uh. All right. My goodness, you guys. You devoured that in like 2 seconds fast. Come on. Charlie. Oh, fine, Delta. Good bird, you love the babies? So funny, in the sun you can so see the difference. Regular Canada Goose, hybrid Canada Goose. Regular Canada Goose? No, hybrid. Want some? I'll get you guys yours in a minute. Teriyaki, what are you doing? Are you stuck? Okay, you're like eating all of it. Hold on. Okay, so the goose, all the goslings, Pretty Bird, their favorite treat is kale. You guys hear that in the background? That would be the baby rooster. Nom, 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 nom. I didn't forget you. There you go. Yes, you too, Echo. Come on, Echo. Pretty Bird, you don't usually eat these. Pretty Bird, you want some stem? You want it? You gonna eat it today? He doesn't always eat it. No, he didn't eat it. There you go. You guys always get pushed back by the African goslings. Pretty Bird, don't be a bot. Don't be a bot. Got some ends from the bread. And no, that's not for you, goosies. That's not for you. That's for the chickens. Come on. Go, Nugget. Quick, Nugget, grab it. Quick, run away, Nugget. Run away. Here you go, spicy barbecue. Come on, honey. He always lets the girls eat first. Come on, honey. No? You're a good rooster. Teriyaki! Alright. Let's go find Teriyaki. He's over there. You coming with me, Buck-Bucks? You coming? You too? Deep grass. Come on, babies. Come on, Buck-Bucks. Teriyaki. Come on, Buck-Bucks. Teriyaki. You guys hear that? That's the Canada goslings. Aw. Hi, babies. Come on, Teriyaki. Come on, Buck-Bucks. Teriyaki. Teriyaki, come on, buddy. Come on, Buck-Bucks. Teriyaki, come on, buddy. You guys see him over there? A goofball. He'll find his way back. I am not even wearing socks. I'm just wearing very short shorts. Just comfortable house shorts. And I threw on some shoes real quick. Here you go. My outdoor shoes broke. Rosemary. Go get it. Run away. Nugget. Go get it, Nuggy. Come on, honey. Have yourself some too. And he puts it down for Spicy. That's what he does. Like, he constantly will take a treat. And by the way, they get a lot of carrot, peas, kale. Bread is a very rare treat. I don't buy bread for my birds. I won't even, like, okay, check this out. If I were to try to feed them bread, look what happens. They don't know bread. Bread is not something they want. They don't need it. They don't like it. They won't eat it. See? They won't mess with that. See? I raise my birds, like, strictly on greens and then supplement with grains, because bread is actually really bad for geese and for ducks. No, you're not going to steal that. Honey, I wouldn't jump down there. That was a long one, buddy. That was a big one. Barbecue, come here. Oh, Nuggy, I didn't see you. I didn't see you, Nuggy. Here you go, honey. Have some for yourself. Yes, you're so handsome. All right, now have a treat. You're going to drop it again? You're such a goof. He drops it for the girls. He'll eat it, but he drops it for the girls. And now he's going to go over there and he's going to start announcing. You hear that kind of high pitch where he goes, cluck, 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 cluck. That's him calling the girls. So when he finds Treat, and you see he keeps picking it up and dropping it down, it's not because he doesn't like it. It's simply because he's literally calling the girls and showing them where the treats are. I have good roosters. Spicy. Yeah, you need to be careful, Mama. Don't get stuck out here again. I went to go lock him up the other night. And then I came out to double check. And thank goodness I did, because I didn't do a head count. And so I was nervous that maybe I'd missed one. She stole it out of my hand. That maybe I'd missed one. And that, one of my babies was missing. And I just felt like I needed to do a head count on the chickens. There you are, Teriyaki. Come here, buddy. Come on. There you go. Most of their treats have been frozen peas. Come on, Rosemary. Here you go, Rosemary. Yes, good girl. Yeah, you tell the world you're all that. Hey, Spicy. No attacking, Teriyaki. We're working on it. See, I have to walk around with one of these. Now, it's one of those like small ones, or with my rake, but I left my rake inside along with one of my wood panels because Teriyaki likes to charge me sometimes. He doesn't do it all the time anymore. We're making progress. We're working on trust. Right, Teriyaki? But if I don't have a treat and I don't have a purpose, he gets closer and closer, and at some point, he'll just come straight at me. Sometimes. Not always. I use this to stop him, not to hit him. It's very important. I'm not hitting him. I would not want to hit him because I want to fix that behavior, not make it worse. I don't want him to fear me. I want him to respect me. And it's a very, very important difference. The trust, for any new watchers, the trust was broken when Nugget had hurt herself. And I had to unhook her toe from the fence. And she cried out once, and he came running over, and I picked her up. She was hanging upside down, stuck on a metal fence. And not for long, but it was long enough, and dangerous enough, where she was stuck, and she was just hanging there. So I got her foot out, I got her toe out. Literally just the toe was curved. It looked painful as hell. And I took her inside. And we kept her inside for 2 days to let her toe heal. You doing all right, Spicy? You okay, Spicy? You got the water over there. You all right? Come here. Come here, Mama. Hey, Barbecue. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Yeah, your crop is full. Yours, too. My goodness, you guys are getting lots of treats. Hey, pretty bird. Yes, Teriyaki, you're all that. Did you find your way back in? Did you find your way back in? Hi, babies. I can't wait for breeding season to be around. Look at him. He is a gorgeous rooster, isn't he? Yes, you're so beautiful. You're all that, Teriyaki. You're all that. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Pretty bird, I don't have any more snacks. I don't have any more snacks. I don't have any more. I'm sorry. Yes, pretty. Guys, leave Nugget alone. Leave Nugget alone. Girls, do you need help? You guys want up? You guys want to go back in? Yes, pretty bird, I know. You're such a good bird. I haven't been able to spend nearly as much time with my birds anymore with this weather lately. The heat has not let up. I'm already sweating up a storm. I've been out here, 15 minutes? So yeah, it's been pretty... Hey, Spicy. Hey, Spicy. It's my good girl. You behaving yourself, Teriyaki? Are you behaving yourself, Teriyaki? He's just watching me. Anyways, look at these guys. They've gotten so big. Remember when they were itty bitty tiny babies? Rosemary's over there taking a sand bath. They do those sand baths so that they can protect themselves. It's how they clean their feathers. It protects them from things like lice and mites. All chickens should have access to sand and have the ability to do sand baths. There are special recipes you can put together where you can make a tub or a pile of certain ingredients. I forget what they all are, but it's basically certain dirt, certain sands, certain, I think diatomaceous earth, I'm not 100% sure if that goes in there, but I've seen one person say it does. Anyway, I haven't had the money to do all that. But yeah, I figured I'd give them a treat. They'll get some more kale tonight. With this heat wave, one of the things I do is I come out in the afternoon and I give them all treats, frozen and cold treats. So the geese will get kale. Now, they don't really struggle as much with the heat right now because they always get fresh, cool water. And then they have over there, they have the water that's in the shade. And then they have two pools inside, which are very shallow. And then they have these buckets. And they have two of those. And so they have the ability to go and dunk and cool off on a regular basis and just go sit in the water, which they do on a very regular basis during the heat of the day. But the thing about chickens is they don't really have all that. They can't go swimming. I do have a shallow pan, and it's actually a old watch out, barbecue. Dirt. It's a shallow pan that is actually from an old kennel. So I put water into that pan, and then sorry, picking up trash. I put water into that pan, and then the chickens literally will walk through it or stand in it, and it helps them. Oh my goodness, Rosemary's just enjoying that sand bath over there. Look at her. She's just all into it. Just dusting those feathers real good. And all the chickens will do it throughout the day. So this is not just one. Hey, honey. Hi, honey. Look at him with his side comb. You got a side comb. You got a comb over. That's what he's got going on. It's not a defective comb. You tell him. Say it's a comb over. Anyway, though. It's good to meet you, too. Don't do it, Teriyaki. I'm watching. Yeah, you know I'm talking to you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I see you. A lot of times he does this where he just like kind of somewhat grooms towards me. Like he'll forage and slowly approach. And he knows the broom. That's Nugget, because she never learns. Nugget, the goslings don't like you yet. You gotta give them time, Mama. Nugget is our half goose. She's half chicken, half goose. It's the black one you see right there. She's her breed is a black star. And she she was our second backyard poultry bird. But at the time, what are you doing, honey? Don't eat the tree. So she was living indoors with Pretty Bird, our hybrid Canada right here. And they were indoor pets he was indoors for about 2.5, almost 2.5 years. So like 2.25 years. And then Nugget, she was indoors for a little over 6 months. Now we had them both since they were babies. Actually, we hatched Pretty Bird, and then Nugget joined us as a hatchling. And we rescued Nugget. And in some ways, we rescued Pretty Bird. As in, if we hadn't incubated his egg, he would have never hatched. But, and he was not supposed to be half Canada goose. No, you were not. You were supposed to be a regular farm goose. Yes, you were. You were supposed to be a regular farm goose. Goofy butt. Yes, Goofy. Yes, all that breeding attitude. Yes, all that breeding attitude. Where are the days where you were not so mouthy? You're so mouthy now. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not coming to the pool with you. It's not happening, buddy. He's trying to get a hold of me. He's not trying to hurt me. He's trying to get a hold of me so he can take me to the pool because he's got issues. Yes, you do. You have issues. And here we have our adorable little Blue. Our handsome Echo. Ow! That was my hand. Delta. And Charlie. Anyway. I just wanted to share a little moment real quick with the cuties. Hi, beautiful. How you doing, Mama? Thank you for the eggs today. Thank you for the eggs. I appreciate your egg every day. Yes, I do. She's like, you're the egg thief? There's Squirt, our little one. I say little one, she's fully grown. So here you see the size difference. She is a cackling goose. So she is a small breed. I'm not sure if they are still considered a subspecies of the Canada geese. So these ones right here, I'm pretty sure are regular Canada geese. I've got a sneaking suspicion with that size difference. You never realize how big an animal is until you see them compared to a regular size of their species or breed. That's one of the things I really notice is I never realized how big Pretty Bird was until I saw him next to these Canada goslings, which are already over 8 weeks old. These guys are more than 2 months old, meaning that they are mostly grown. They'll probably get a little bigger than this, but they're mostly grown, meaning that Pretty Bird is a lot bigger, which makes me think that he's either mixed with an African goose instead of a Chinese goose. So, the place where we got him from, they had. Now, this was before I was into geese, so I didn't know goose breeds, and they looked a lot like these guys. Now, even with these guys, I still don't know for sure if these guys are Chinese geese, if they're African geese, or if they're hatchery Africans, meaning that they're Africans but they're not perfect purebreds, meaning that they're not going to be as big as the perfect African. I think they're called super Africans, the purebred ones. Anyways, and then you have the hatchery Africans. We believe that they're hatchery Africans. Um, and what are you doing? You're just chewing on roots now? Anyway, so we always thought that Pretty Bird was mixed with a brown Chinese, but we know for sure he's mixed with the swan genus, swan goose genus, which is basically the descendants of the swan goose, which will include geese like the Chinese goose, the brown Chinese, the gray Chinese, yada yada yada, the African goose, and the white African. Um, so those are descendants of the swan genus and the swan goose genus. And swan geese are European geese, whereas Canada geese, right here, they are from the genus called the Brunta. So their offspring, which would be Pretty Bird, is very rare, doesn't usually occur very often. Like it's just a very rare thing. You don't generally find a lot of swan goose, Canada goose mixes. You can look them up online. You're gonna find a couple, but you're gonna notice there's a lot of repetitive pictures of like the same geese over and over and over again because it's just not something that you find that often. Um, Anyways, and we believed him to be one of those geese, either an African or a Chinese or a hatchery African. Now that he's fully grown and I see him next to regular size Canadas, considering that Chinese geese are pretty small in comparison to Africans, I'm wondering if Pretty Bird is either a hybrid between a Canada goose and an African goose, or if he's a hybrid between a Chinese or African with a giant Canada. Because there's another version of Canada geese that are a lot taller and they're bigger, and often you can distinguish them by their eyebrows. They look like they have like a white unibrow. And I'm wondering if with Pretty Bird's size, he's either African goose or a giant Canada is one of his parents. Um, Now, when I saw the birds at the place where we got his egg, all I know is that they looked like, similar to these guys. As in, they had that brown stripe going down the back of their neck and the orange feet, which you can see Pretty Bird has almost the exact same tone of orange as these guys do. Canada geese usually have black feet. Pretty Bird's got orange feet because he's a hybrid. And you can see his cheek patch is completely off. Pretty Bird. His is elongated. That's what a Canada Goose cheek patch looks like. And a lot of hybrids seem to have that kind of differently shaped cheek patch. And the way that I know that it's for sure either an African or a Chinese goose, brown Chinese, that Pretty Bird is mixed with, is the fact that you can literally see the band on the back of his neck going down. If you look at it, you can see the separation of his, like, black neck, or dark brown in his case. You can see that there's, like, you can see the stripe on the back of his neck separate from the rest of the coloration. Like, it's literally separated by little white dotted feathers and all kinds of other stuff. You can see that he has that stripe on the back of his head going to the top of his head. And if you look at how it's shaped over his forehead from his beak to the back of his head, you can see it's also the exact same shape and same amount of coloring as you see in these goslings. So you see how it goes right underneath the eye and then back. When you look at Pretty Bird, it goes right underneath the eye and then back. Where with Canada geese, you see it more swoops up from the bottom of the beak and then has more of like an oval or kidney or heart shape. See, like, she has slightly differently shaped. She's a cackling, and hers, Pretty Bird, leave my phone alone. Hers, to me, looks like a sideways heart. Like, it looks like the tip of the heart is going towards her beak, if it's laying on its left. Anyway, that's how we determined, based on the fact that I saw geese that looked like those, and based on the way Pretty Bird turned out, is how we determined what he is mixed with. So we know he's definitely a Canada swan goose hybrid, but we don't know if it's a Chinese or an African that he's mixed with, which doesn't really make much of a difference to us. It's just interesting because he's a rare occurrence in nature, even in captivity. Just Canada geese aren't usually hybrids. It's more like they don't have any other choice, so they mate with who's available. Or, for an example, snow geese will breed in the exact same location as Canada geese a lot of times, and snow geese are all white. And what will happen is they will fight over nesting space. So for an example, if you have a pair of Canada geese, right, that fights off a pair of snow geese and takes over their nest. Let's assume the mom's already laid an egg, right, in that nest, and they tend to bury their eggs to keep them safe until they're ready to start incubating them so that their babies will hatch around the same time. Now, the mom, the Canada goose, starts laying the eggs, and the exact opposite scenario happens in another location where the the snow goose takes over a Canada goose nest with maybe 1 or 2 eggs in them. Mama goose goes on it, and now the snow goose starts laying eggs. She'll incubate all of those eggs, including the few Canada goose eggs, just like the Canada goose hen will incubate the snow goose eggs or egg that may have been left behind. Now that baby will imprint on this other breed as being its parent and will identify as such. So the baby Canada goose will identify as a snow goose, and the baby snow goose will identify as a Canada goose. So when the time comes for breeding and those two particular babies come across each other, right, their imprinting on their parents has a huge impact on who they breed with when they're adults. And this is how they, from my understanding, how they believe it happens in nature. How we get these, like, opposite, like, these different genuses, these different breeds from breeding with each other, or from pairing, how they pair up. Because their self-image is what they're looking at, right? Is what looks like their parent. That's their self-image. Doesn't matter if they look different. Their self-image is what their parent looks like. So that's what they identify as, what their parent looks like. So the snow goose that was raised by a Canada goose is going to look for a Canada goose to mate with. And most Canada geese will not mate with that snow goose because they're looking for Canada geese to mate with. Now, the Canada goose that was raised by a snow goose is going to look for a snow goose to mate with. This is going to result in the Canada goose, who was adopted by snow geese, and the snow goose, who was adopted by Canada geese, to then mate with each other, which will then result in hybrids. I hope that all makes sense. That's usually how that happens. There's been some areas where I've read that even the siblings of an adopted baby will often are also more likely to breed with another species if they were raised with that species, meaning that, say, so like in this case, I raised the African geese with the Canada geese, right? So these 4 goslings right here, this one, those 2 right there, and that one, they were raised together. So they're going to see, they were imprinting on each other during that process as siblings, yes. But they're also going to be considering each other family. Meaning that when a time comes and they start breeding, they're more likely, not going to guarantee, but they're more likely, just like the one that was raised by a different goose, they're more likely to now mate with someone who looks like mom or their siblings, or dad or their siblings, or mom and dad and siblings. I hope that all makes sense. It's kind of drawn out. It's odd to explain it. In my head, it all sounds a lot simpler. But I found it absolutely fascinating. Pretty bird is one of those occurrences where not only did 2 geese who were willing to accept each other have to find each other, but to top it all off, he had to be a fertile egg that wasn't damaged when it was handled by humans. It's okay, baby. Mommy will be back soon to come lock you guys up, okay? And then his egg had to successfully incubate, make it to the hatch day. I know. Charlie's trying to follow me. Charlie doesn't like me leaving. Pretty bird doesn't like me leaving. Some of them are imprinted harder on me. Like the Canada goslings are more imprinted on me than the Africans. The Africans are kind of a lot more okay with me going away, and they're accepting Pretty Bird as an example a lot more, whereas the Canadas are the ones who usually cry for me a lot longer, which is good. You know, it's good that they have Pretty Bird and that Pretty Bird treats them as his babies. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna get my butt inside because I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. All right, bye y'all. Thank you for stopping in.